Good evening, everyone. My name's Dr. David Cole, founder and CEO of FlyFreely. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited about drones. Who else is excited about drones? Woo! Well, the great news is there's people and businesses all across the world right now that are excited about drones and are scaling up their usage. But that comes with some challenges. The first challenge you run into is regulations. In Australia, that means you've got to deal with CASA. And anyone who's dealt with CASA knows how painful that is. And then not to mention, depending on what you're doing, you'll have to deal with other state and local bodies. And then if you go to a different country, you've got different regulations, again, you've got to worry about. So it becomes very complex. But the bigger problem you run into is around how do you get consistency across hundreds of pilots flying drones? How do you get reliable data capture and limit the amount of crashes that are happening? Well, you know what happens. You've got to put in processes and systems. And that means paperwork. And paperwork means low productivity. And in fact, in the drone world, a pilot can spend up to 50% of their time filling out forms and paperwork in the field. So our solution to this is pretty simple. Automate the paperwork. We take companies' existing processes and turn them into a digital version. So pilots simply come onto our platform, map out where they're going to fly, and in the background, we then check the rules and regulations. Once they get approval, we dynamically create forms and checklists on their mobile device, so when they go out in the field, all they've got to do is simply follow the list. This has resulted in our customers seeing a 35% increase in the time the pilots are flying and massively reduced the amount of accidents and rework. And it's driving incredible ROI. So in 3 months, our customers are getting their money back. And this has led to us having over 90 companies now across sectors such as mining, construction, energy, consulting and water, government, and higher education. So we think we've got something pretty special. And you know what? The regulator agrees. They've just approved us as a verified CASA application. So that means early next year, we'll actually be able to start doing automated airspace approvals in controlled airspace, which will be a game changer for the industry. So on top of this, we've had some other awesome highlights this year. One is our 90% conversion from trial. So this is all the hard work from the dev team led by Nigel, sales in Carlos, and support from Ben, who have made the product and the experience amazing, and people are loving it. It now means we're winning the Australian market. So we're winning all our head-to-heads with competition, and we're converting their customers. But what we're actually most proud of is our 20% negative churn. Negative churn is a fancy way to say we retain all our customers, and not only retain them, but we actually get them to spend more on the platform. And to give you an idea of what our pipeline looks like right now, we've got a whole bunch of other amazing companies in the pipeline. And we've already got a lot that have verbally committed to coming on board. And again, most excitingly, we've got existing ones that are expanding. So again, Essential Energy, we're talking a lot about Essential Energy. They're going from 5 pilots to 100 pilots. So how does that all translate into revenue? At the moment, we've got 130K RRR, and just those verbal commitments and expansion on the books will add another 80K ARR over the next 3 to 4 months. And with that pipeline following through, we think we can easily achieve 50% month-on-month growth over the next 12 to 18 months. So in terms of our revenue model, we have a free account. But where we get businesses to start is actually in our business plan. So this is really part of our land and expand strategy. So we get them, they start small, and then as they grow, we then upsell them as they need more features to manage more and more operations, all the way through to the enterprise level where they're managing across multiple countries. And we're already starting to see the enterprises pull us into other countries. So obviously we started in Australia, but we've already been pulled into New Zealand, and most recently into Zimbabwe in USA. And we've now got several customers asking us to, over the next 6 to 12 months, enter into Southeast Asia and Europe. So you may be thinking, how is this possible? How can we add all these countries so quickly? And the reason we can do that is the way we built our platform is we can enable us to add, in different countries, regulations very easily. It also means we can add in new applications. So literally in the last month, we've been contacted by 2 different drone delivery companies that want to use our platform for all their back-end services. And we're going to be part of a really exciting project early next year, which will kick off and start to build the next generation of air traffic management in Australia, which will actually start to enable the flying taxis. And what's most interestingly of all is some of our customers who fly drones also operate underwater drones. And they said, can your platform do it? And we said, I don't know, we'll give it a try. And it worked. So what that means is our platform can actually handle any sort of drone. And we see this as giving us not only huge long-term growth, but defensibility, because we don't care if a package gets delivered by a drone or delivered by a vehicle. So in terms of the investment opportunity, we're chasing $1 million, and we're going to use that money to grow the top of our funnel and build out some of those enterprise features to unblock some of those enterprise customers. And probably what is most interesting of all, and be happy to talk offline, is what's happening on the network and the network effects we're generating. So our customers are pulling in their subcontractors and their contractors, and they're also then wanting to do business between each other. And we really think that's where our long-term value will be in monetizing this network, and it's a network of trust. So if you're excited about drones, come and help us fly. Thank you.